Welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you very much for joining this masterclass. I really appreciate your time here. My mission here is to deliver as much value for you, the business owner, the entrepreneur, so that you can go turn around, implement some of these strategies that I'm going to show you in this masterclass so you can get some quick wins right away. All right. So without further ado, let's just jump right in. All right. So how to rank on Google to boost online exposure, earn social proof, and generate high quality leads that convert into paying clients for your business, even if you've got no idea where to start. All right, so what to expect from this masterclass? All right, you're gonna get complete clarity on the benefits of a proper search engine optimization and digital marketing plan. So for those who don't know what search engine optimization stands for, it's essentially SEO, essentially meaning making your website pretty in Google's eyes in order to rank for specific keywords and keyword sentences. You're going to discover the difference between a cookie cutter marketing plan and one that actually works for you. You're going to demonstrate, not you, but we are. We're going to demonstrate exactly how to build your marketing strategy, grow your brand online, and more specifically on Google, the #1 used website globally. You're going to learn how to leverage the top search engine, aka Google, to work for you. I'm going to share some advice and guidance on the entire sales funnel, from the awareness stage right to the buying stage. And you're also, going to get a lot of valuable information that you can apply to your digital marketing plan today. This isn't for you if, you're getting more clients and scaling your biz are not high on your priority list. You're not currently invested and committed to growing your clientele. You believe you can create a highly profitable search engine marketing plan all by yourself, and you have no interest in changing your current online and digital marketing plan. And you don't like to spend $1 to make 2 or spend 5 to make 10, so on and so forth. I think you get the point. But I've got good news. This is for you if you don't already have a robust online lead generation plan in place. You don't know how, or which social platforms you should focus on. You're looking for professional guidance on how to build a custom digital marketing strategy. You're not sure whether you need paid traffic or organic traffic, or maybe a combination of both. And you want to build an empire that will positively impact several lives. And you're currently unhappy with the service and results you're getting from your current marketing agency. All right, so who's Johnny Mox and why are we listening to him today? Why should I give him my time, my precious time, to hear him out? So I'm a digital marketing expert and an online lead generation specialist. I've been doing that for the past 5 years here. In 2019, I was named the Digital Innovator of the Year at the Wealth Professional Awards. In 2020, I was recognized as one of the top 25 rising stars in the industry by Wealth Professional. And I helped generate over 200 million in assets under management in 4 years through digital marketing, directly result in 2 million net in yearly recurring revenue. All right, so a little bit more about me. Here's my gorgeous little family here. I'm a French-Canadian family man. I've got my beautiful wife there and my cute little 3 kids. Oldest is Zoe, then goes to Isabel, and then little Frederick. I'm an avid learner of the stock market, real estate, crypto, alternative investing, pretty much anything that has to do with wealth accumulation. I'm a big fan of sports. I was supposed to be a pro hockey player because I had cousins on both sides of the family who went and played pro, but I digress. That did not happen. I did play against one of the best hockey players globally back in my heydays. Jonathan Toews, for those who don't know, he is the captain of the Chicago Blackhawks. He's won an Olympic gold. He's won 3 Stanley Cups. No big deal. I'm a digital entrepreneur and I continuously test and learn new marketing strategies and tactics. That is my passion. That is what I breathe day in and day out. And here's a little fun fact about me. I love going to town on my drums when no one is in the house, which doesn't happen too often, but when it does, watch out. It's going to get a little loud. All right, here's a little bit about my digital marketing journey here, because it's been a good one. It's been a really good one the last 5 years. So in 2015, I started building drop shipping e-commerce stores on Shopify. And for those who don't know what drop shipping is, essentially, I don't hold any inventory. I form relationships with manufacturers. I build a website. I sell, the manufacturer's goods at the manufacturing price, and then I make the spread of, the markup price that I put on my website. So did that for, a year or so. And then it wasn't moving as quick as I wanted to. So I went on to move on to other things here. So I started a new role as a business development associate, AKA head of digital marketing. They wouldn't give me the head of digital marketing title, even though that's essentially what I did day in, day out. I was a business development associate for a prestigious wealth management firm. 2019, won Digital Innovator of the Year, as you guys know. In 2020, top 25 rising star. And then in 2021, after helping a firm generate over 200 million in 4 years, so that's 2 million net in yearly recurring revenue, Johnny Marketing was founded. I wanted to, put my skills out in the open to the public, to you as an entrepreneur, so that I could help a lot more people than just one wealth management. My goal here is to help as many individuals, business owners, and entrepreneurs grow their brand online. And that is what I am passionate about. All right, so your customer avatar, your perfect client. This is a crucial step before moving ahead to, other things as paid ads, even just your organic strategy, because you want to know exactly who you're trying to talk about and who you're trying to sell to. All right, so you're going to ask these following questions, about your perfect avatar, and take a piece of paper and write these down, so that way and you can see the exact perfect client that you're trying to target. So how old are they? Where do they live? What are their interests? What's valuable to them? Is it family? Is it legacy? Is it money? There's a whole bunch of goals that individuals set in place, but they're uniquely different from person to person. So what do they hate the most, right? We want to present those pain points, right, in the messaging and in the copy. That way they can relate to what we're trying to write and the message we're trying to convey here. What would be a valuable offer to them? So this is more on the business side of things, but what would be valuable to them? Is it, a free step-by-step tutorial? Is it a free product? Things like that. All right, so as part of our comprehensive analysis, we want to determine exactly what kind of person we're trying to target and spread our message to. In the end, it'll help us, craft our offering and messaging in every piece of content that we publish on a go-forward basis here. So what similar problems have you faced and solved that you can teach others? Something you want to think about. And what products do you sell or promote that will solve the problem to their solution, or solutions, I should say? And then what answers and solutions can you provide to their burning questions, concerns, or desires? What service can you fulfill that either makes them richer, saves them time, or makes them feel better? Because at the end of the day, we more or less want either one of those three or all of those three all together. All right, so here's what a typical Google lead generation funnel looks like. We got this little thing, this little image, and then the top of the funnel here. All right, so you got your viewer, your visitor. They've never heard about you, right? But they stumble upon your piece of content, whether it's by search, whether it's on social media, and then they get into the middle of the funnel, right? Because they're not a stranger anymore. they know you, they've seen you. So the middle of the funnel, this includes, a website visitor, content viewer, fan, a follower, a lead essentially. And then we get to the bottom of the funnel here, where we're closer to that dollar sign. They're a prospect, they become a customer, from prospect to customer, and then they become a repeat customer if you work within that business model where you could sell, the same product or same service or similar service and similar product to the same person, same individual. And eventually you might have some clients that become brand ambassadors. They just love you so much, whatever you put out, whatever they're buying, right? And they're spreading the good news to their friends. These are the perfect client avatar that you want to be aiming for. We could continue here. All right, starts at the awareness stage. So you got Google Ads, organic traffic. We are talking about Google here. So you can do video posts. GMB stands for Google My Business. It's essentially, I recommend everyone doing this. Even if you don't have a website, you can just do a social page on GMB. You can start collecting Google reviews and essentially start ranking in the local path, which is the Google Maps area right underneath the ad section. So from awareness to going to consideration, right? So you want your website optimized for UX, which means user experience. When someone goes on your website, you want them to have a pleasant experience and stay there as long as possible until they decide to make a transaction. All right, so you got your vlogs, your blogs, your podcasts, testimonials, reviews, accolades. You want all of that on your website or your one landing page or maybe on your Facebook page. That is social proof in a nutshell. And then we're going to go next here. So the conversion, this is where they essentially go from awareness to knowing you, right? So you're going to offer a free masterclass to deliver a lot of value, build trust, and gain authority. You can do a virtual event. I've seen plenty of those done in the last year and a half here. A Tripwire lead magnet, essentially a free masterclass. That's what it is. It's a Tripwire lead magnet. There are many lead magnets that you could use. You could do a top 10 list, PDF. You could do a step-by-step tutorial. You could do a checklist. The list goes on, really. If you just go to Google and type in, types of tripwires or lead magnets, you're going to get a list of hundreds there. And also, a step-by-step tutorial, as I mentioned. And then, once you convert them after you've collected that email in exchange for delivering value here, this is where you work on loyalty, right? So membership offers, forums, and community groups, which is really important nowadays to build a community, year-round service, that kind of thing. And then we're moving to advocacy, right? Where we get, again, your brand ambassadors, your referral, your influencers, essentially your brand ambassadors, because they are doing a lot of legwork for you. They've built an audience, and that takes a lot of time, resources, money. If you can build 100 perfect relationships with these individuals where they're buyers and they're also brand ambassadors, you're going to be laughing in the long run. All right. So this sound like you got no digital marketing place or a poor one at best. You're not really sure how much money you need to spend to acquire a client. You're confused as to how Google determines their rankings. How do they decide which website goes all the way to the top and which one goes on page 3? We'll talk about that a bit later on. Are you currently cold calling or cold messaging on social media to generate business? I used to do that. I don't do that anymore. It can still be effective, but for me, I like when customers come to me instead of me chasing the customers here. So you haven't updated a website in 5 years, right? It looks like it's built on HTML and built in the 90s kind of thing. Definitely want to spruce that up. You got no clue how the Google algorithm works. Don't know what a Google remarketing tag is and the major impact it can have on your biz. And you feel invisible online, essentially. Like your business doesn't exist or can be found. And you want to change something about that. And you wasted months, possibly thousands of dollars on marketing agencies and fake gurus. Happens all the time. I see it all the time. I've been a victim of that. So don't worry if you have, no big deal. There's opportunity online, but you simply need some clarity on what to do, your next action step. So right there is like half the battle, right? The potential and this is going to work. You just need to put it in place and you want some guidance and a roadmap on how to get there. All right, so let's check out one of my client stories here. Client's Ron. He's a successful financial advisor. So he has seen like a tremendous amount of success early on in the investment industry. He was generating business through cold calling and referrals. And Ron had minimal online exposure. He had a website. He had a bare minimum LinkedIn page, but no Facebook page, no IG, no TikTok, no Twitter. Just a simple website, it wasn't even built for user experience or conversions. And that was how he started when he approached me. So we started working together in 2017. And since then, we've helped Ron generate, over 150 million in assets under management, which equals to 1.5 around there in recurring revenue, for his wealth firm. So here are the following marketing strategies that we've implemented to generate daily leads online, all while building a reputable and authoritative brand. So here's the ticker. We did a few things, but today we're talking about this right here. Number 1, optimized website for organic traffic on Google. Organic traffic means non-paid traffic. So organically plus the local map, the local pack map. And that is essentially just underneath the ads. And it will only appear for local based search queries. Example, if I'm looking for a financial advisor in Toronto, I would type in financial advisor in Toronto. The ads would appear at the top, the local pack map with the little Google Maps and the 3 websites with little Google stars, that would appear, and then the organic rankings would appear. So that was one of our main digital marketing strategies. Our next ones were, we implemented a Facebook ad strategy that leads to a masterclass webinar. We did actually 4 webinars. That's why it's plural here. We also started a YouTube channel as a primary platform for content creation, meaning that's where we started. We would create our content for YouTube, and then we would repurpose on other platforms from there. We used, you could repurpose on TikTok, IG, Facebook, LinkedIn, Pinterest, the list goes on. And number 4 here, we did multi-streaming live on social platforms. So we used a tool called StreamYard. We booked interviews with a handful of celebrities, professional experts in their fields, that type of thing, to gain authority online and also piggyback and leverage the audience of our guests. Naturally, they have, again, worked for their following, their fan base, and we're leveraging that fan base. We're getting into that circle by having that guest come onto our show and be a speaker, be a expert person in their field. So let's just keep going with Ron's story here. So we reviewed Ron's unique business goals and objectives. We do that with every client because every client has unique financial goals and objectives. We then implemented our accelerated business automation system, the A-Base system, or ABAS, if you want to call it. I call it the A-Base. So we worked to, position himself online and his wealth management group as an authority in the wealth industry in Canada. We recommend that he focus on ranking in Google for local search queries related to finance, wealth, and investing. And that includes, financial advisor in Winnipeg, Winnipeg investment advisor, best wealth management group in Winnipeg. Those kind of search queries we wanted to rank for and get online visibility. We then recommended he start a YouTube channel to supplement Google rankings and to start generating organic traffic through YouTube and Google. Because if you don't know, Google has now started to rank YouTube video. Why is that? Well, both YouTube and Google are owned by the same company called Alphabet. And so essentially they're just rubbing each other's backs. They are brother and sister companies and they're helping each other out. So if you were to go on Google and if you were going to type in a search query that looks like this, video on microwave fixing, videos from YouTube would start ranking on Google. So if you start a YouTube channel, you can knock 2 birds with 1 stone. You can rank in YouTube and you can rank in Google. So it's an absolute no-brainer to start a YouTube channel. You're also contributing to your efforts of being omnipresent online, which is a positive brand signal for Google, which will help you rank your pages and your website higher in the SERPs. It's the tide that lifts all boats here. So once the foundation of the A-Base system has been put in place, we then started accelerating inbound lead gen through an automated Facebook ad campaign that offers a series of masterclass presentations. The results altogether with the clients, over 200 million in AUM generated in 4 years. And again, this number equals to over 2 million net and yearly recurring revenue. Just wrap your mind around that. Like they paid for these clients and now in perpetuity, these clients, the whole bucket will be paying the wealth firm $2 million as long as they stay clients, right? So very powerful stuff. Right here, that's over 2 million. Forgot to press that little bar. All right, here we go. So Ron's story is just one example here of leveraging digital marketing and online lead generation. I could go on and on here, but I think you guys get the point. I don't want to bore you with stories here. So let's dive into, the questions I've been asked here. These are just the regular business people sending me DMs, give me a call, or even on the consultation calls, I'll ask them, what's bugging you? What kind of pressing questions do you have? And here's some of them that I hear quite often, how can I rank my website on Google's first page? Great question. How many times can I rank on the first page? Great question. Not just once. You can have your website show, a minimum of 3 times on the ads, the local pack, in the organic section. And if you're dealing with products, you can also show up, in the product section. So there's opportunity to saturate the first page of Google for keyword sentences related to your business. Very powerful stuff. How do I make people come to me instead of the other way around? That's a great question. Yeah, you're tired of cold calling and you just want people to come knocking on your proverbial door and say, hey, I'm interested in working with you. Which platform should I focus on? Is it Google? Is it Facebook, IG, TikTok? I don't know. Which tools do you use to automate and streamline lead gen? I mean, I use over 20 to 30 third-party tools that automate the entire thing. So I totally understand that it can get pretty overwhelming at some point, when you're deciding which tools to use. But no worries, I'm here to help you. How do I create content for Google My Business? Another great question, and something that not a lot of people do. So if you do it, Google is going to favor you over the other businesses. So this is a low-hanging fruit opportunity for business owners creating content for GMB, Google My Business. Is it possible to trick the algorithm? Absolutely it is. Do you want to? No, it's a slippery slope. If you're in it for the long-term game, you do not want to take any shortcuts and try to trick the algorithm. It will punish you at one point once Google algorithms take place. And when the Google algorithm, when there's a new algorithm in place, your website can be dinged and it will drop in rankings if you did anything that Google frowns upon. In a nutshell, there are white hat, gray hat, and black hat strategies for SEO. You want to focus on white hat. Gray hat, as you probably assume, it's right in the middle. It's not quite black hat, it's not quite white, but it's a little risky because you never know. A Google algorithm might take place and your gray hat tactics don't work anymore. And obviously avoid black hat tactics. If you're in it for the short term, then maybe, but if you're long term and you care about your efforts and your time and your money spent on your marketing strategy, white hat tactic. What's the secret sauce to beating my competition on Google? Great question. And a lot of variables come into play here. So before we go any further, let's understand, what is Google? Google's a search engine. A search engine, by definition, it's a program that searches for and identifies items in a database that correspond to keywords or characters specified by the user, that's you, used especially for finding particular sites. For finding, I think that's a typo, for finding particular sites on the World Wide Web. Comes from Oxford Languages. Why is Google the #1 used website? How did they become that, right? Long story short here is that they became the authority, right? Why do we go to Google? Is because we trust them the most to give us the best answer to our query. And because they do this more often than not and more often than other search engines, we trust Google more to give us, a reliable answer to our search query. How did they become the authority in search engine marketplace? That would be by, working on their algorithm, making sure their algorithm, was the best in the search engine marketplace. And, they were early adopters. Let's face it. They were one of the first search engines in the internet world. So they got a leg up there. Does Google collaborate with YouTube? As I mentioned earlier, they do. They are brother and sister companies. Therefore, YouTube videos do rank on Google. And how does Google's algorithm work? That's another great question. But essentially, in a nutshell, they have these, what they call crawling bots. And what these bots do is they essentially crawl every website on this planet Earth. And they determine, the information that's on that website. And then they relay the information to the motherboard. And so when someone types in a specific query, these little spiders and little crawling bots have been on every website already, those that are published live anyways, and they've determined which website, is going to give or more likely to give the solution or best answer to the user's search query online. So you want to set up your website and your landing pages so that they're very friendly, non-clunky. Website speed is very robust so that when the little Google crawling bots do come to your website, it's a very clear path on how to navigate your website, right? Like pillar 1 is talking about finance. Pillar 2 is talking about investments. Pillar 3 is talking about tax planning. And if you were to go down one of those pillars, it keeps going down that rabbit hole of their specific topic. That, in a nutshell, in 2 minutes, is how Google's algorithm works. And that is essentially how they decide, which website to rank for specific keywords. But why does it matter? Why does ranking on Google matter? Well, most visitors click on links at the top of the first page. They rarely go on page 2, never mind page 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You get instant visibility for keywords related to your niche. That is extremely powerful. You get social proof for your company. Because Google is everyone's, and I say everyone, but I mean most of everyone's trusted advisor online. If you're affiliated and you're in the good books with Google and they decide to rank you, naturally that is social proof for your company. If Google decides that you're a company worthy of ranking, in a nutshell, that's going to correlate to viewers, that are searching on Google, they'll think your website, your company is reputable. And so that is why you want to rank on Google. Social proof is, it's a real thing. You're going to increase your traffic to your website. That goes without saying. The platform visitors are actively looking for something, unlike social media. So if I go on Google, I'm looking for something. I'm looking for an answer or solution or a step-by-step tutorial, whatever it is. Whereas if I'm on social media, I'm not actively looking for something. I'm just there to peruse and scroll and, entertain myself. So it's much more of a pattern interruption strategy on social media. Whereas, platforms like Google, it's a search base. So you're going to want to focus on search terms. Your online credibility goes up, right? It goes without saying there. It's kind of similar to the social proof there. So if you can rank on Google, you're essentially a trusted company, right? Google's done the background check, for lack of better words, with their little bots. That way the user doesn't have to, right? The user doesn't have to scroll through 10 websites to make their decision. They let Google do that. All right, so what are the Google ranking factors? Google takes into consideration over 200 factors to determine who ranks at the top for specific keywords and keyword senses, related to their niche. Out of those 200 ranking factors, there's a handful to a dozen that actually move the needle more than the other factors. And we're just going to list, close to a dozen ranking factors here. So target keywords in the domain or subdomain. So essentially, for example, my domain is Johnny Marketing, right? And a target keyword in there is marketing. So I might have a better chance at ranking for specific keywords related to marketing. But again, right, there are over 200 ranking factors. So don't just think, hey, I just need to change my website URL and I should start ranking on Google. It doesn't quite work that way. You need to go a bit farther than that. Number 2, website speed, page loading speed. That is essentially, removing all the gunky code, the broken links, resizing images, that kind of stuff. Backlinks to your website. What's a backlink? Essentially a link coming from another website to yours. Let's give you an example. Let's say I have a marketing friend and his website is tedmarketing.com. And Ted Marketing, we did a show together and he built a page specifically for the show that we did together. And he pasted that video, he embedded the video on that page. And somewhere on that page, he hyperlinked something that sends traffic to my website. That would be considered a backlink. And the more quality backlinks that you have going to your website, the more you're telling Google, hey, I'm an authoritative person. There's a lot of people linking back to my website, probably because I provide valuable information on marketing. You want to avoid duplicate content. You want to focus on evergreen content. So 2 things here. Duplicate content, I think it's fairly self-explanatory, but you don't want to copy paste an entire article and put it on your page because Google will already have crawled the original website that you copied the information from, right? So in Google's database, they know that that website has the evergreen content. The evergreen content meaning the new, fresh content. It's theirs. It belongs to them. So if we copy paste it, Google's little crawling bots will go in there and say, they'll throw some red flags and they'll be like, hey, I've seen this somewhere on that website. And so we're going to ding this website who duplicated the content. So avoid that. I'm not saying you don't have to, Of course, always name the source that you took the content from, but don't rely on a strategy that simply you're simply producing duplicate content. It's not a good strategy long term. Web page and image optimization, like the meta tags and alt tags, that is information that you're putting in the back end of your website, and that information is essentially read by Google when it's determining who to rank. So the meta tags and alt tags are like description areas for Google. The visitors and the public don't see this, all right? And you want to focus on putting keywords related to your business in the meta and alt tags, including the H1s and H2s. So the H1 and H2s is more or less like your H1s are going to be your titles. So you're going to want to put, your title as an H1. That will tell Google, okay, this page is about, whatever's in H1. And then H2 will be your subtopics, right? So you're telling Google, here's what this page is about. Here are the subtopics, and here are the subtopics, because you can go with H3s as well. It's a little bit more technical, advanced. This is in the back end of your web page, so it could be something that you do or your web developer does. Outbound and inbound link quality. So we talked about backlinks. Your website can also link to other websites, right? So say if you're, for example, you're a hunter and you want to promote these awesome cutting knives, for butchering, then you'd say, hey, I know where you can get these. You go to Cabela's, they have these awesome things. Here's a link to this knife at Cabela's. That would be, an outbound link. Inbound links are links coming in, right, from authoritative websites. What you want to avoid doing here is getting involved with crappy websites. You don't want to receive inbound links from websites that are very poor in Google's eyes. How do we determine that? Well, you can check, there are a few tools there where you can check the domain authority and the page authority of a website. There's a plethora of tools that could do that, like SEMrush. Anyways, I digress. Next one, mobile friendly pages. I mean, we are more and more of a mobile community online than ever before, right? So you want to make sure that your pages are optimized for mobiles. Multimedia, right? You want to include images, videos, YouTube videos, podcasts, and other multimedia elements within your website. That tells Google, hey, I'm omnipresent. I'm here. I'm there. I am taking this, this brand thing, this business thing very seriously. Therefore, take me seriously, rank me higher. And that's essentially what it does. So if you do a blog post on, how to harvest potatoes, what you'll want to do there to maximize the potential is, do a video on how to harvest potatoes, write a blog, do a podcast, and other forms of multimedia, do an infographic, right? And there's ways of repurposing that, so you don't have to actually create another video and don't actually have to, write another blog. You just do one piece of content and then you repurpose across other platforms. And of course, the domain authority is one of the ranking factors, and that the domain authority number goes up with, all of these things plus your other ranking factors being optimized, right? And the website user experience is very important. What you want to avoid is having someone go to your website and bouncing right away. Bouncing meaning exiting your website. You do not want that. That will be kind of a red flag in Google's eyes, because what Google wants to avoid is, giving you their answers. You click on a website and it's not what you were looking for, right? That's not a pleasant experience for the visitor visiting Google. Therefore, Google will say, hey, we ranked this website for this search query and the guy bounced, or the guy or girl bounced right away. It was not what they're looking for. Therefore, maybe next time, let's not rank that website as high because, the past viewers bounced right away. I hope that makes sense. So what you want to focus on is, retention. The longer that person stays on the website, Google is going to look at that and say, oh man, we gave them a good answer, right? We were right on ranking that website because the visitor is enjoying their experience and they're still on this website, right? So food for thought there. All right, so Google marketing options for your business, right? There are hundreds of digital marketing approaches for lead generation and brand building, but you need to choose, which systems and processes work best for you. So let's take a look at my 3 favorite digital marketing models. It's important to remember, Google is not our only source of lead gen, okay? So SEO, search engine optimization, ranking in Google plus YouTube. You got search engine marketing. What's the difference, Johnny? What's the difference between SEO and SEM? Essentially, search engine marketing includes paid ads. That's the difference. SEO doesn't have paid ads. SEM includes SEO plus paid ads. Ads on Google plus YouTube, multiple locations on both platforms, and content marketing, right? You're going to create educational, engaging, entertaining content. And actually, if you could mix all three of those, you have won the marketing lottery. It's tough to include all three in one piece of content, but it's definitely possible. So here, you can create videos for YouTube, podcasts, for people who love audio, or you can write content, blogs for Google. So SEO and SEM, keyword research. You got to start by creating a list of keywords and keyword sentences related to your business and niche that you'd like to rank for. So think of high converting keywords. It could be like buy product in city or service-based professional in city, right? So optometrist, dentist, lawyer, house inspector in Toronto. Those kind of keywords, right? For example, if I'm a financial planner, here's what my keywords list might look like. Financial planner in Toronto. Toronto financial planner. Certified financial planner, Toronto. Best financial planner in Toronto. Financial planner near me. Fee-based financial planner, Toronto. Financial planning in Toronto. Financial advisor in Toronto. I think you guys get the point. These are all different search terms, but they all kind of lead to the same result, or at least they should. And so you want to focus, on ranking for these keywords. You want to somehow include some of these, in your metadata, on your page itself, on your website. And when you're doing your ads, these are the kind of keywords that you want to be targeting. All right. So for example, this is a keyword tool that I use, mangools.com. And as you can see at the top, I've wrote my search term, financial planner in Toronto. I can search anywhere in the world. I could have put this in Toronto, but for now, I just left that at anywhere because I'm being specific here. And you can choose any language. And this is the results that I have here. So I'm just going to kind of briefly show you what everything stands for. So these are the keywords. These are the trend, right? So you can see that it was higher than before, but now there's a low amount of search volume compared to, these 2 months or weeks or whatever it is. These are the number of searches per month. Here is the cost per click. So this is for ads here. This is the average number that you're going to pay when you're trying to target for this keyword. And this is the number of competitors trying to rank or that are doing ads for this specific keywords. And this little KD score, essentially the darker the green and the lower the number, the easier it is for you to rank organically, right, for this specific keyword. Now here we can take a quick look at what this page stands for here, but DA stands for domain authority, PA page authority, CF citation flow, TF trust flow. You got links, Facebook links. This is link strength. So again, the lower the number, the better it is for you, the better shot that you have at ranking. And this is the number of clicks that they can expect per month for this search term here. And essentially, this is a process that you need to do before you start working on your website, your ad creation, and all that jazz. All right, so you can rank on Google 3 times. I did mention that earlier, but let's just dive right in here. So if you go to Google right now and you put in a search query, you can expect to see different variations of Google's first page. But for the most part, it's very similar. So for example, if I were to type in financial planner in Toronto as my search query, you get the ad section right on top here. So how do I know it's an ad? Well, it says right here, ad, 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 ad. The next thing below here would be the local map, the Google map. So as you can tell, I took a screenshot right after this. This is the last ad. And then this shows up right here. All right. And as you can tell here, the competition's pretty weak. I mean, you got something here that's ranking without stars. Ascended Financial, that's a reputable, number of Google reviews. Then you got this guy. He's only got 1 review. It's 4 stars, and he's ranking. So imagine if you could just even get 10 5-star reviews, you'd have a good chance at overranking Kerr Financial Group. And it's important to remember that these will fluctuate and will change from search to search. If you were to try and, press enter again, you'd probably have a different set of websites. But here's the thing. If you're reputable, kind of like Ascended Financial here, you're going to appear in this local 3-pack a lot more often than your competition. Food for thought. And underneath this little view all section here, we have the organic rankings. As you can tell, right, this is the last, I snipped it from right here. And then this is what you see, right, for the rest. So you can rank, you could show up here, you could show up here, and you could show up here on the first page of Google for specific keywords related to your business. All right. So you can rank on YouTube and Google with videos. Just a quick glance at YouTube here. So this would be your title, right? And then, let's go back here. This would be your title. This is the description area. So just keep in mind that like one sentence kind of shows up here. So you want the sentence to be strong. This is important digital real estate for you. And also you want to study, right? How long are these videos that rank at the top? What's the common denominator that I see? Well, first is I see, I used harvest in my search term and I see harvest in every title. What else do I see? Well, I see harvest potatoes. So maybe that's something that I want to put on my thumbnail. Just things like that. But just remember that YouTube, is a search engine, just like Google. So you can rank your videos just like you can rank blogs on Google. All right, so content marketing. Every platform has their unique types of content that you publish and post. They utilize every type of content. I want you to utilize every type of content that Google allows you to publish and rank. Because in Google's eyes, it'd be like, okay, they're participating, they're enjoying everything that we have to offer. They're essentially a good friend of ours. Let's rub their back and rank them higher for specific keywords. So example, Google will rank blog posts on your website. Google will also rank YouTube videos when search queries include video in them. Google allows you to post updates on GMB, Google My Business, which acts similarly to a social platform. Definitely want to be doing that. Not a lot of people are using this feature. So this will be one thing that can give you a leg up over your competition. So growth hacking tip here is to create one piece of content that you can repurpose across several platforms. What you don't want to do is create one respective individual piece of content for every platform. You're going to burn yourself out. You won't be able to keep up. And this is not the ultimate way to scale and grow. All right. So example, you would create a 5 to 10 minute video on YouTube. You extract the MP3 from the MP4, you add an intro and outro, and then you got yourself a podcast. And then you can transcribe the MP3, polish the transcription, and you got yourself a blog post. And eventually, you can go further down the rabbit hole, right? You can create quote boards from, anything that you said in your 5 to 10 minute video. You can create infographics from what you said in your video. The list goes on. All right, so you mix all three, and what do you get? You get a well-oiled machine, a proven strategy here. You mix, 3 circles together, and right in the middle, you get the sweet spot. You get a well-oiled machine digital marketing system in place. Right. So the benefits, what are the benefits of proper SEO and SEM? I might have highlighted some, through this masterclass, but let's just address them here. So you can bridge potential clients and customers from the awareness stage to buyers. You can also gain social proof, as I mentioned earlier. You grow your brand equity and you're building an empire. You're essentially giving your viewers a better user experience, right? And that really matters. I mean, when I go and search for something, and if I click on this website, I want a pleasant user experience. I want to enjoy my time there. I don't want to be stressed. I don't want to be looking for the answers I'm trying to follow. I want everything to be given to me with the least amount of resistance possible. And when I say me, that goes for every other person online on the internet. Our attention span is just so small nowadays that you need to keep them engaged through a very good user experience. All right, so you don't need to worry about lead generation ever again. And, take that with a grain of salt because, yeah, you're going to have to come up with new strategies, new marketing tactics. You're going to have to keep up with the times and all that. But you're going to have other problems. You're not going to be focusing on your next client because that you have a very robust strategy in place that brings leads to you, right? That books phone calls directly in your calendar. All right. So you're going to be focusing on other things like, how to optimize your sales funnel or what other offers can I offer, that type of stuff. And the other benefits of proper SEO, SEM is that you have online systems in place that give you more time freedom. You can travel the world. You can stay at home with your kids. You can go watch a dance recital, all that good stuff. And it goes without saying, but proper SEO and SEM is gonna for sure boost exposure, and rank you higher on Google and YouTube, which is the whole point of this masterclass. And you're gonna get some research-based and data-driven optimization, because if you integrate everything with Google Analytics, you can go in the back end and see what's working, see what's not, see what pages are being visited more frequently, and all kind of stuff like that. All right, so the benefits here, you're applying a proven and current marketing strategies online. SEO has been around since the inception of the internet. It's still being used. You might hear the terms like SEO is dead. Unfortunately, it's coming from entrepreneurs who just have given up on this digital marketing model. But by any means, it is not dead. Just ask any top website that is ranking for a search term. They're going to say, no, we love ranking at the top of Google. We're getting consistent, monthly traffic coming to that. And that traffic, some of that traffic turns into customers and clients. You get data-driven implementation, scalability through automation and systems. You protect your business and employees from slow cycles in your niche, right? Because, people are always looking and searching online. It is what it is. And yes, you're going to have your summers where people are not online as much, right? Or you get your winters where it's like hot season for product businesses, that type of thing. But in general, when you have a proper digital marketing in place and proper SEO and SEM, you don't worry about the slow cycle. You're going to secure your family's future essentially because your SEO and SEM gives you predictable monthly traffic. And yes, it does fluctuate, but you can say with certainty, hey, I'm expecting 100 to 200 clicks because of our SEO and SEM strategy. It could be the difference between a thriving business and one that barely keeps afloat. Also, SEO, you get to compound your efforts in content marketing. And me, as an investor, when I hear compounding, I'm a big fan, right? Because the more work you do upfront, the more beneficial it is for you down the road. It's the old proverbial, you're rolling a snowball down the hill, and your efforts at the beginning, are just as important, right? To get the momentum and get your content working for you, essentially. You're dealing with a multi-award-winning digital marketer here with a background in wealth management. So you can rest assured that you're dealing with a professional, an expert, not a guru here. I've been in the trenches. I've seen the ups and downs. I've got the experience, and the proof is in the pudding. You're going to get growth in online visibility, and you're going to gain instant social proof and credibility, which is uber important in today's online ecosystem, digital marketing world that we live in. So this is just a fun little infographic that kind of shows you how big Google and YouTube really are, right? They're the two most used websites online. So it makes a lot of sense for a business owner to be good friends with Google and YouTube, to put in the effort to collaborate with Google and YouTube. And then you're going to see, the Facebooks of the world, IGs and other platforms. But this just shows you how big Google is, right? And you got Amazon here. So food for thought. All right, Google stats. Here's a fun fact for you. Ever since the introduction of Google search in 1997, the worldwide market share of all search engines has been rather lopsided. Google has dominated the search engine market, maintaining an 92.05% market share as of February 2021. Now, if that is not market dominance, I don't know what is. The second place search engine is Bing with just over 2%, and then Yahoo at 1.5%. That is some mind-blowing stats right there. So if you thought that Google wasn't that big, well, you're sorry, but you're wrong. It's huge. There you go. Bing with 2.27, Yahoo at 1.5. Yeah. So, just a huge moat in the search engine space here. All right. So recap, we talked about what is Google, what are the Google ranking factors, what's a Google lead gen funnel, What are the Google marketing options for your business? We took a look at a customer avatar, your perfect client. What kind of questions do you need to ask yourselves in order to determine who you're trying to sell to? We took a look at SEO plus SEM, the keyword research side of things. We did take a look on how you can rank on Google 3 times and how you can rank on YouTube and Google with videos. We dove into content marketing, the benefits of proper SEO and SEM. We took a quick gander at some mind-blowing Google stats and why ranking on Google matters. So here are some common problems that you might see with Google here, or at least I've seen. The algorithm constantly changes. You need to keep up with the times, and your rankings may fluctuate. We call that the proverbial Google dance. You potentially have lots of competition in your niche. That could be a bad thing. Gray hat tactics are a double-edged sword. So I remember we did speak about white hat, gray hat, black hat tactics. Focus on white hat and just be careful with gray hat and avoid black hat tactics. Try to say that 5 times real quick. There's way too many gurus out there, promising the moon, but they end up failing on their fulfillment. So that is definitely a problem in the digital marketing space as a whole. You get marketing experts possibly misleading you to a bad lead gen and branding strategy, right? You want to see if the proof has been in the pudding for these experts. What have they done? Are they just brand new here? You want to kind of take a look at their background, see what they've done in the past. You're unsure of the cash flow needed to fund a well-oiled marketing strategy on Google, and that makes total sense if you haven't started. You're definitely not the only one in that boat, so don't worry about it. And a common problem is the complex technical setup required, and you're not sure where to start or how to do it, especially with like your website, the hosting, everything in the back end. It can get a little overwhelming at times. And it's easy to burn money and time if there's no clear strategy on growing your digital empire. You don't want to be spinning wheels. You want to get traction. You want to get, to the end of the tunnel as quick as possible. All right, partner with me, partner with Donnie Mox and the Donnie marketing team. We build and we create customized and tailored digital marketing blueprints and online lead generation strategies according to your goals and needs. Not a cookie cutter, not my needs, your needs. And you can benefit from the following services that we provide here. I'm going to provide you a digital marketing blueprint laying out the entire infrastructure of your online marketing plan. I'm going to tailor some strategies for your business for online lead gen. You're going to receive some data and analytical reports, to keep in the loop and see if this machine is working or not, or what you can do to improve. See if you can scale, if it makes sense to scale, right? Are you profitable on your return on ad spend, that kind of thing. You're going to get ongoing competitor research. Competition never stops, and new competitors always enter the market. And it's good practice to know what your competitors are doing. I'm not saying you need to replicate what they're doing, but you want to get a feel of what's working, what's not, that type of thing. All right, so you're going to get Google My Business Management, which is crucial if you want to rank, if you want to optimize and maximize your SEO benefits, your SEO plan. And we also offer paid ads management. If you want to do Google ads and YouTube ads, I got you. And of course, search engine optimization and search engine marketing. Now, what if partnering with us, right, meant that you generated an extra client each month? Or what if it gave you the peace of mind and less stress about growing your business? No more cold calling. Don't need to rely on referrals. You essentially step away from prospecting, and it would allow you to essentially enjoy more things that you want to do. Spend time with family, go travel, go fishing, go golfing, go shopping, whatever. And what if it brought you an additional $1,000, $10,000 or even $100,000 in income? Would that be worth it? What if it secured your business's future for years to come? That's a pretty big deal. And what if it allowed you to leave a multi-generational legacy for your family, for your children and grandchildren? I know that's at the top of my mind. And what if it helped you sleep well at night, knowing your marketing strategy is in great hands, with a sound plan in place and a digital marketing expert team by your side? What would that mean to you? Would it be worth half hour of your time? what to expect, right? So we're going to custom and tailor, your Google marketing blueprint with future goals and needs. We're going to talk about your goals and where you want to go, in a year from now, in 2 years, and 5 years from now, and the ultimate end goal. What is it? What to expect. You're going to work with an award-winning expert here with a passionate team that desires to help you. I want you to win. I want you to have success, because at the end of the day, if you don't win and you don't have success, I'm not going to have success. I'm not going to win. And since we are in a people business here, I want to help you. I want to see that smile on your face at the end of the week because you're content with your business and your digital marketing plan and your partnership with Johnny Marketing and his team. You're going to get constant access to me and anyone on the team during work hours. You can text and email anytime if you got pressing questions or concerns. I'm going to answer them as quickly as possible. And you also have access to my calendar anytime you have, a more pressing question that's going to take a little longer. You can book anytime at your convenience. We make the onboarding on our team seamless and effortless. I know that, in the past, I've worked with other marketing contractors, and sometimes, they're just dealing with paperwork for like 10 days straight without actually moving forward with the actual digital marketing place. So yes, there is quite a bit of upfront work that needs to be done before we actually go in and get our hands dirty, but we make it seamless for you. We make it effortless. We make it fun. Essentially, we want you to like the experience. Again, just like a website user experience, I want you to enjoy the user experience from working with us. You're going to get world-class analytical research and marketing solutions. First of all, your best interests are going to be put ahead of anything else here. Dealing with clients' businesses is something that we take very seriously, and we work hard to satisfy our clients. At the end of the day, we want you essentially to be brand ambassadors and go out to friends, colleagues, family members and say, man, Johnny Marketing just blew my mind. Turned my business around. So glad I started working with him. And that essentially is what I strive for. I want you to feel that way. And the only way you're going to feel that way is if you think you're getting good value in return. But I want to eliminate the word think, right? And I want to put the proof in the pudding. That way you're like, man, I know Johnny Marketing is the real deal. Change my business around. You should give him a shout. All right. So why now? Why are you listening to this masterclass right now? First off, and why do you need to act? Why do you need to start, putting the effort on ranking on Google right now? You're going to have us map out the action steps and guide you towards quick results right away. We can take care of everything related to your SEO and SEM marketing plan. It's going to alleviate a whole bunch of stress for you. You're not going to have to figure out how to go in the back end of your website or how to get inbound links and all that stuff. All right, so the pandemic had a massive impact on how we do business in 2020 and, in this year, 2021. There's been a huge shift towards doing business online, and this is the future. I mean, we're here to stay. Internet's not going anywhere, right? And people's daily habits aren't going to switch overnight here. You get to leverage my expertise, as I mentioned above. Consider the opportunity cost of not taking action. All right. There's a cost of opportunity on both sides, right? On the side that we work together, yes, you're investing, in Johnny Marketing. You're investing maybe in financial resources to, rank higher. You might invest in paid ads. So there's the cost of opportunity there. But then if you don't do anything, right, you might not get that $1 million client that would have came your way if you were doing ads, or you might not get the online exposure and get that call from a brand deal that wants, to partner with you because they saw a video on TikTok. Those are the opportunities that you're missing out if you're not taking action. And of course, you want to start compounding your efforts as early as possible. It's just like investing. The earlier you start, the better you're off, right? Because compounding your efforts over a lengthy period of time can have a significant impact on your business growth, right? If not now, when? Honestly, when, right? You took like a better part of almost an hour to watch this. You're committed. I know you are. So let's just do it, right? If you're not going to do it now, when are you going to do it? Hey, don't pawn it away for a week or for a month, because
those weeks and those months turn into years. And then the regret sets in, like, I should have started, right? The best time to start in online marketing is yesterday. And if not yesterday, then today. All right, so how does it work? Well, step one, we're gonna get on a call. We're gonna get to know each other. We're gonna chat. I want to get to know your business goals, right? We identify the areas in step two where you need help with. Is it SEO? Is it content marketing? Is it email marketing? Is it your website? Is it all of it? Step three, we're going to schedule another call here. We discuss the potential digital marketing strategies and campaigns that we want to start implementing in your business. And step four, you join the award-winning Johnny Mox and his team at Johnny Marketing as a client and benefit from world-class advice and service. All right, but I want you to wait. Even if you think working with us might be the answer to your search engine marketing woes, I don't want you to commit to anything just yet. All right. What I want you to do is let's get on a free discovery session. All right. There's absolutely no risk from you. The risk is that you lose 30 minutes of your time, but the reward here is very big. You could implement all the stuff that we talk about on our free strategy call. I can record our call and send it to you, and you can implement the things right away. You don't need to deal with me. Absolutely not. No pressure. Have a call with me. I want to get to know you. I want to network with like-minded business owners and individuals and see if I can help them out in any form or fashion. That includes just giving a 30-minute valuable strategy session to you, or that could mean partnering with me, either or. So we're going to talk about your current business situation, your goals, your needs. They'll be analyzed for a proper and thorough marketing budget assessment. You get actionable and valuable digital marketing advice that you can implement in your marketing plan today. So that's there's no risk. You get on the call with me, and at the very best, you walk away. We're both still friends. We're new acquaintances. And you walk away with valuable information that you can implement in your business that very same day. And at the end of the call, you'll have a very clear vision of what you need to do in order to, I didn't finish that last sentence, in order to, start a very successful digital marketing plan system. All right, so book your call with me, Johnny. You can simply go, there's probably going to be a link at the bottom here. Simply click on that link. Alternatively, you want to type in this www.calendly.com/Johnny Mox. That's with 2 X. Or, just give me an email. Shoot me an email, johnny@johnnymox.com. Or you can call or text me here, 204-392-8681. All right, so I'm just going to show you a couple of testimonials. I'm going to quickly read here. So Mox is the real deal. We have been in the digital marketing ecosystem for a long time, and he still surprises me with value bombs every time we set up a chat. Always willing to help out when I need it. Johnny is a great, trusted marketing expert when it comes to helping you scale your company and brand online. I highly recommend watching his how-to videos on TikTok, whether you're a seasoned marketer or just starting out. Thanks, Amrit Donraj. So he owns a company called GetTruckDrivers.com. Essentially, he works with trucking companies. He builds systems and processes for them to hire truck drivers and not go through the traditional route of posting a job listing. Next testimonial here, we got Rob Tatro. So Johnny took my wealth management practice to the next level. My business would look completely different today if we never would have taken the leap of faith in digital marketing. Looking back, I'm sure glad we did. With a couple of awards to back it up, the proof is certainly in the pudding for Johnny. I highly recommend chatting with him if you're thinking of growing and scaling your business online. Thanks again, Rob. This picture is from the WP Awards, where we both won Digital Innovator of the Year. All right, so final thought here. You deserve to rank on Google. Your business deserves to rank on Google. And I hope you enjoyed watching this class as much as I enjoyed making it for you. It was a real pleasure, a real treat. And I really hope that you did get a ton of valuable information that you can, take away here and implement in your business right after this masterclass ends. All right, my friends, that concludes the end of the masterclass. I want to thank you again from the bottom of my heart for watching this all the way to the end. I do appreciate you and appreciate the precious time that you took out of your day to be here. I hope you got a ton of valuable information on it. And I'm looking forward to chatting with you and see if we can find some synergy and chat about the ways that we can grow your business. So again, if you want to talk to me, if you want to book directly in my calendar, just go to calendly.com/JohnnyMox, or you can give me an email or just give me a shout, 204-392-8681. Again, I want to thank you from the bottom of my heart for watching this masterclass, for sticking all the way to the end. That really means a lot to me. And I know for a fact that you're going to have tremendous success online because I know you're dedicated to this. You've watched this entire masterclass. So that's half the battle right there. I look forward to chatting with you. And until next time, take care.